lost the weight on Weight Watchers 2 or 3 times. Jenny Craig, Noom, went vegan a few years back and then even did the Atkins diet, but that all meat thing wasn't good for you. Every time you did this, you were a success. You lost weight, sometimes even lost all of it. But here you are, overweight and feeling like a failure. Well, you didn't fail. The programs failed. They failed you. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain how you use havening to permanently eliminate compulsive emotional eating and overeating so that you never gain the weight back. Hi, I'm Jason Stanley, a social research scientist focused on understanding the root cause and cure of obesity. Now, I struggled with my own overweight and obesity for decades. I've been where you are now. My job here is to help you eliminate the underlying root cause of your obesity. So let's dive in. If you've followed the channel, you know, 1, emotional eating is always when you gain the most weight. Okay, no surprise there. Number 2, emotional eating is always connected to stress. Again, no surprise there, but I just wanted to mention it. Number 3, it's not your fault because, number 4, it's hardwired into your brain, not your thinking, not your mind, not your character, but into the physical part of your brain, that any stress is understood at a subconscious level as danger, and it's your brain's job to get you to safety. And by the way, in the next video, I'll explain why our brains work the way they do and why your brain chooses eating as safety. Don't have the time for that today. Even the stress of dieting causes your brain to force you to eat more than you want or need. Now, you know these things, so I won't go over them anymore, other than to have just listed them. So we're all on the same page. Now, also in the past couple videos, I've given you some pretty handy havening tips, techniques to help you stop eating when you know you're not hungry, but still want something, maybe a craving, maybe just, I don't know what I want, but I want something, and you go clean the refrigerator. So you know all of that, or if you haven't watched the videos, you will when you go back and watch them. So now for the big secret. How do you completely, that's right, completely eliminate that true underlying root cause? But first, always there's a but first. Let me take a moment to tell you there are 2 types of answers to this big secret. One type of answer talks at detail about the science. It builds a case for why this stuff works. And once the case is built, it lays it out, how each piece interconnects and creates a functional, fully understood scientific explanation. Yeah, I can do that, but we won't do that today. And I hear a collective sigh from a whole bunch of you. Now, if you really want to know that stuff, I'm going to leave a link to a great 18-minute video that explains the science really, really well. Now, the other type of answer is where I tell you, in regular people talk, what you have to do to repattern your brain so that you'll be what I call a natural eater. So you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full. It's that simple. You eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, and you never gain the weight back. And that's what we're doing today. And again, there's a but first, a bit of honest reality. You are all but guaranteed that even though I give you all of the information today and in the past 6 months, you can't do this on your own. That's right. To get it done correctly and permanently, you will need the assistance of a fully trained, certified havening practitioner who has got the specialized training in the Food Monster Freedom Program. So please take a breath. Yeah, just kind of, I'm not trying to sell you something that will cost you more money and make me more money. I'm just trying to give you the reality. So think of it this way. You or a friend have been diagnosed with a serious condition such as heart disease. Now, let's hope not, but this is just a hypothetical. Now, would you suggest, or you personally, would you even remotely think about going to a highly trained brain surgeon? Or would you go to a cardiologist, a heart doctor? Now, they're both highly trained medical doctors, but, well, you get the picture. You go to the person who knows your specific problem. Compulsive overeating, emotional eating disorder, is not the same thing as any other of the common issues, such as PTSD or complex childhood trauma, regular trauma, etc. It's a long, long list that the best Havening practitioners are trained in, experienced in, highly qualified, and do an amazing job. But if they're not trained in the Food Monster Freedom Protocol, they don't know how to do this program. That's just the way it is. Okay, now, finally, we can get to the important stuff. What do you do? Well, you and your practitioner will do an intake interview where you will be asked questions about your eating habits and the environment around eating, not the food, but the actual environment around eating during and throughout your childhood. Now, there's more to it than that, but that's the most important part. That's what your practitioner will really need to know. Now, some people talking about their childhood, it's a joy, and where others, not so much. Now, both situations are important for your practitioner to understand. A high or low stress childhood does not rule out or rule in the program. It does, however, tell your practitioner how to proceed. So it's real important. You've got to be honest. You've got to tell them what's going on. Now, if you had a difficult childhood, and by the way, about half the obese population did, tell your practitioner up front, because sometimes talking about that can be a little stressful for you. And he or she knows how to help you with very specific havening techniques that will help you relax and take the tension and the worry and all that angst out of the interview process. So havening is a tool that not only are we going to use to get to rewiring that deep stuff, it's a tool that is amazing at just reducing immediate tension. Also, during your first meetings, you will begin to do the specific havening techniques specially perfected in the 3-year clinical trial on resolving the root cause of complex compulsive overeating. For those of you who like to know the name of things, your practitioner will teach you a technique called modified transpirational havening. And it goes like this. So now when I say it goes like this, I'm actually going to show you what to do, but I'm going to also ask that you actually join me, do what I do, and say out loud, actually say it, what I say. Now, I know, no one wants to do it. And I bet you almost no one will actually do it. I can't tell. So please, you be the winner who does it. Learn how easy it is. And as they say, just do it. Okay? Great. Okay, there are 2 parts to this process. I'll talk about them independently. First is the havening touch. And then second is what you say out loud while you're doing the havening touch. So let's go over what the havening touch is. Just a quick review. Now, you've seen me do it here on the channel before, but if not, this is how it is. And it's really, really easy. I'm going to take my glasses off for demonstration purposes. Often I just go under my glass, but to help you out, I'm going to take it off. Now, your fingers, just put your fingers together and create, kind of create flat. And you go across the forehead, right? Not across the head and not down the sides of the face, just across the forehead. Now, if you go on down the side of the face, no harm done, but it's not doing any extra good. Just across the forehead, right? Stimulating it. And it's amazing. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. I've done it on somebody else's face. So I'm reaching through the through the camera, doing your head right now. Okay, so I've done it, and then I say, okay, you do it, and I get this. No, no, it's your four fingers together and across the forehead, and then across your own cheeks above the cheekbones. So it's the upper planes of your cheeks. And yeah, a lot of people start on the bridge of the nose and just work across, okay? That all counts. From there, you go from the shoulder down to the elbow. Reach across if you can comfortably. You go down, lift, up, touch, down, lift, up. And last of the three places is the palm of the hand. So you rub the palms of the hand. Now, if you go online and you watch other YouTube videos, you'll see people who are doing it, like this, right? And you get this kind of thing. Okay, great. And you'll see people that do it this way, just as great. Or somebody who's actually doing this, just as great. There is no right or wrong. It's just that this skin on the palm of your hand is being stimulated, okay? And it's really that easy. Again, the science is in the video linked in the description. So next is the talking part. Now we're going to use me as an example, my real world way I grew up. Now, when I was a little guy, my mother was happy when I cleaned my plate and sad when I didn't. Now, I wasn't in trouble for not eating everything, but I really knew she wanted me to eat all of my dinner. That was important to her. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, while havening, it is much, 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 much better to talk out loud. I've already made that point in the personal point of view and the present tense. So you'll say, I am. You will not say, I would or I did. It's I am, I feel, I want. Just as if I am that little 7-year-old boy or girl sitting at that table. So here we go. All right. Now I'm only going to go about 20 seconds. We'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm sitting there at the table. I'm going to go, oh, okay. I remember sitting at the table with my mom and I see her face and she's looking at me. She's looking at me and she asked me, are you going to eat those beans? And I say, I don't really want to, but Mom, I will. I'll eat all of those lima beans. I'll eat those beans. And yes, okay, so I'm looking at the beans and I really don't want to, but it'll make her so happy. So I start eating the beans and I finish the last bean. I finish the last one. I say, Mom, I finished. I ate all my beans. And she looks at me and her eyes light up. I can see it and I can feel the love that she's giving me. I can feel the love from my mom. And that's so good. That feels so great. She's a working mom, so I don't see her a lot. Dinner time is a time I get to be with her every day. And oh, I love to see her smiling face right at me. She looks at me and says, you want some ice cream? Oh, my heart soars. Oh, I just feel so happy. I feel so, so happy. I'm going to get, I am just, and so we stop. Okay. But you'll go on with this for about 10 to 20 minutes. And the thing is, your practitioner will give you the prompt. Because you've worked together with them and you guys will work back and forth, but they'll give you the prompt and you'll do it 10, 15 minutes. And it's important that you do it that long. And it gets a little boring. That's why we stopped here. But your brain, the physical brain, the wiring, the synapses, all of the neurons needs that much time to begin to make the chemical changes to rewire. Also, be sincere. Just be sincere about it. You saw that when I was doing it, I really got into it. I felt that. I felt that joy. I felt that love. I felt that happiness. Now, I've worked with people who, unfortunately, were more interested in proving this does not work or more interested in proving to themselves that they were a failure than being successful. Don't let yourself be that person. Please. Now, is that all there is to it? No. No, 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 no. There's a lot more, but that is the heart of it. That's the heart of it. And we could go here for, 2 or 3 hours, but no, we're not going to. And that's why you've got 24 videos before this one. Okay, now for the big elephant in the room. Money. How much? Right? You're all going to say, "Oh, I have to have a practitioner. I've got to have, professional and Okay, fair enough. But please, let's look at what it costs if you don't do it. I'm going to give you a list of health issues that are directly connected to obesity. All obesity, from just barely medically obese all the way up to morbidly obese. Oh, I only weigh 150 pounds when you should weigh 100. Well, that's medically obese by far. But I'm not a 600. Medically obese is enough to have a direct link to all of these problems. Number one, type 2 diabetes. That costs $12,000 per year and can take up to 20 years off of your life. Non-alcoholic fatty liver costs $7,800 per year for the rest of your life. And an interesting little fact, non-alcoholic fatty liver is the fastest growing metabolic disease in the United States. High blood pressure. Oh, this comes in cheap, $2,500 per year. Heart stent, $11,000 to $41,000 one-time procedure. So you don't have to do it year after year, maybe. Heart attack, a 5-day hospital stay is $21,500. That is, if you lived through that first heart attack. The lifetime cost, these are just dollars, of ischemic stroke is estimated to be $140,000, not to count the fact that you can't walk, you're with a cane, half your face is hanging down, all of the problems, you can't speak well that come with that kind of a stroke. But you say, I have insurance. Okay, great. Good for you. Many people don't. So for them, these are costs that are prohibitive. Some great insurance policies may even pay for you to go to a one-time program, but they won't pay for maintenance diets such as Nutrisystem meals only, not the program, just the meals, 1 year. We know it's going to be more than 1 year, right? $8,280. Oh, plus fruit, dairy, vegetables. Jenny Craig, again, meals only, 1 year only, $10,080 plus fruit, dairy, and vegetables. Okay. The drum roll, please. Your sessions will generally cost between $100 and $150 per session based on the experience of the practitioner. Somebody who's been doing it for a long time, their prices will inch up, of course. They're more qualified in the whole process. The average program, some are lower by half and some are more by half, but the average program consists of about 24 sessions. So you're going to pay between $2,400 and $3,600. Okay, you probably aren't keeping all these numbers in your head, so I'm going to give it to you. Those numbers are what? 1/4 to 1/3, the low 1/4, the high 1/3 of Jenny Craig for only 1 year, and experience tells us all. You'll be back to Jenny or Noom or Nutrisystem next year or the year after. So double those costs. Now, is this for everyone? Well, no, absolutely not. It's for those who have done the popular programs. They've done the keto, and they've done the vegan, and they've done the Mediterranean, and Weight Watchers, and yet the weight has always come back. This program is for the tribe of those who truly want permanent success. I hope you're one of us. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate your time with me today.